This week on my sewing journey, I am working on mason jar quilt. I decided to do this style of mason jar quilt, but I did it as a mug rug. Now, my first attempt, I thought it looked more like a milk jar. So my second attempt, I took a square of fabric and folded in the corners. So this is the applique style. There are many types of mason jar quilt block. You can do the one where you find the fabrics that have the food on it and use that, or you can use a solid color for the mason jar that's not white, that looks like it's food. I decided to do applique. So the first thing I did was I took some scraps and made like a little quilt. Then next, I put my white fabric, the square, on there, turning the corners in. And then I found this fabric up here that kind of looks like a lid to me. It does, at least. And folded that so the raw edges were covered. And then next, sewed that on. Then I made a strawberry applique and sewed that on. Now, you want your background not to be so bright that your mason jar doesn't show up, but you could, if you wanted to do a total solid plain background, you don't have to do the quilting part. Then next I quilted it and I binded it off. It's very simple to do and it was a lot of fun. With this one, a family member has claimed it. I did use the red, white, and blue background. Although, yeah, I still think it does look like a milk jar. But what I did do was I made this little label. I used a cam for the Kenmore. And it's just a little squiggly thing. And sewed that on. So the whole thing is applique. And the strawberries applique. And the same with the lid. And here's the back of it. And I could have just used that plain fabric too if I wanted to just put the jar on there. I hope you like this idea and maybe give the mason jar quilt a try. And if you don't want to do the entire quilt, you can always do the mug rug, or a coaster. They're a lot of fun to give as gifts. I hope you like this idea. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. And happy sewing.